A 36-year-old from Auckland, New Zealand, walks into NASCAR, a sport built on Southern American roots, oval tracks, and decades of tradition, and wins his very first Cup race on the streets of Chicago, something no driver had done in 60 years. That single moment told every team owner in the garage exactly what Shane Van Gisbergen is worth. And one owner, the most competitive man in sports history, was paying very close attention. Michael Jordan didn't come to NASCAR by accident. He grew up in North Carolina watching Richard Petty and Cale Yarborough. He watched his father, James Jordan, light up at the sound of engines. When Jordan launched 23XI Racing in 2021, he didn't come to participate. He came to win. He sold the Charlotte Hornets for $3 billion in 2023, partially to pour his focus into building the most dangerous team in the Cup Series. By 2026, that investment has produced results that silenced every critic. Tyler Reddick won 4 of the first 6 Cup races in 2026, including the Daytona 500 on the final lap. Bubba Wallace finished no worse than 11th in the first 5 races. Jordan now sits atop the owner points leaderboard alongside Penske, Hendrick, and Joe Gibbs Racing. We at NASCAR Racing Central are about to hit 500 subscribers, and every single one of you got here because you love real NASCAR analysis, not surface-level headlines. If this kind of deep breakdown is what you're here for, subscribe right now, hit the like button, and share this video, because what comes next in this story gets even bigger. Before Jordan could go shopping for weapons, he had to fight for survival. In October 2025, 23XI Racing and Front Row Motorsports filed a federal antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR. Every major team, Penske, Hendrick, Gibbs, stayed silent. Jordan stood alone. The courtroom testimony that followed was extraordinary. Heather Gibbs took the stand and described NASCAR's charter agreement process. It was like a gun to your head. If you don't sign, you have nothing. Teams were handed a 112-page extension with 6 hours to sign or lose everything. Joe Gibbs, an 84-year-old Hall of Fame coach, personally called Jim France and said, "Jim, you can't do this." France ended the conversation. Heather Gibbs described leaving her father-in-law sitting in the dark, listening to his blood sugar monitors going off. Jordan himself took the stand. He stated, "Someone had to step forward and challenge the entity, and I never saw Jim France drive a car. Never saw Jim France risk his life." Jordan had personally invested $35-40 million into 23XI and purchased a third charter for $28 million during full legal uncertainty. Inflammatory texts emerged showing NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps insulting team owners. Phelps resigned in January 2026. The lawsuit settles in December 2025. The handcuffs came off. Back to SVG, 3-time Supercars champion, Bathurst 1000 winner. Back-to-back Watkins Glen victories, 7 Cup wins total. The most dominant road course driver in NASCAR since Jeff Gordon wore the rainbow suit. Rival driver Chase Briscoe, midpoint season, compared SVG to Michael Jordan in his prime on a road course. Kyle Larson stated, "SVG is probably the best road racer I've faced in NASCAR." These are not fan opinions. These are competitors, men racing directly against him, delivering verdicts. Jordan sees in SVG exactly what he built his empire on, the outsider narrative. The international competitor who arrived in America and rewrote history on debut. SVG isn't a development project. He is a finished product, a fully formed weapon, and Jordan collects weapons. The problem is where SVG currently sits. When he arrived at Trackhouse Racing, the setup worked. 2 superstars, clean engineering lanes, full attention. He delivered 7 wins. But the team has changed. Daniel Suarez was released at the end of 2025. In comes Connor Zilisch, 19 years old, car 88, backed by the full Chevrolet marketing machine, with FS1 building his mythology as the future of American stock car racing. The math is cold and simple, 3 cars. Ross Chastain, who just won the Coca-Cola 600, is the fan favorite. Connor Zilisch is the 19-year-old Chevrolet is spending marketing dollars on. And SVG is a 36-year-old New Zealander currently scrapping outside the top 16 in points. In 2027, when engineering priorities get assigned, when simulator hours get allocated, when pit crew decisions get made under pressure, the hierarchy rights itself. There is also a structural equipment reality at play. Trackhouse runs Chevrolet. Hendrick Motorsports receives priority access, engines, aerodynamic data, wind tunnel time. Then RCR, then Trackhouse. Kyle Larson gets the full family package. SVG operates on third-shelf resources. As journalist Jeff Gluck noted, Trackhouse suddenly feels crowded with Zilish entering the picture. Interesting long-term situation for SVG. Now look at what 23XI is offering in contrast. Tyler Reddick, through 12 races in 2026, leads the entire Cup Series with 567 points. Toyota Racing Development is the most well-funded, driver-focused manufacturer program in NASCAR. 23XI and Joe Gibbs Racing share data at a level that makes Chevrolet engineers uncomfortable. Monster Energy, McDonald's, and Rockstar Energy fund the operation. Reddick just signed a multi-year extension in April 2026, Bubba Wallace confirmed. Riley Herbst confirmed the charter lawsuit is settled, the finances are bulletproof, and the whispers in Charlotte from people inside the garage point toward 23XI exploring a fourth car. Fourth Toyota, a road course specialist seat, a global ambassador car targeting Australian, New Zealand, and Asian markets. SVG ticks every single box that program needs simultaneously. Championship contender, international identity, proven road course weapon. Nobody else on the grid delivers all three at once. Three pieces of evidence sit on the table. First, Trackhouse is structurally evolving away from SVG. The engineering priority ladder is real, the points gap is real, and the Zilish investment is public record. Second, 20SI is the hottest team in NASCAR right now, dominant on track, financially secure, and reportedly expansion ready. Third, Jordan's psychology. He signed Scottie Pippen. He signed Dennis Rodman. He does not sign passengers, he signs assassins. SVG, the outsider who walked into America and changed road course history, matches every profile Jordan has ever valued. Jordan told CBS's Gayle King, "I'm cursed with this competitive gene. It keeps me aggressively thinking positively." A man cursed with that gene does not look at SVG's 7 wins, his Watkins-Glen dominance, his Chicago debut, and walk away from the table. Justin Marks gave SVG his American opportunity. That is a real and significant fact. But sport does not run on loyalty ledgers. It runs on equipment, resources, and momentum. Right now, the momentum at Trackhouse has a 19-year-old American face on it. And SVG, at the absolute peak of his powers, is watching the oxygen redirect. Fourth, 23SI, Toyota, full TRD resource, a Jordan organization at the top of the owner standings. Global platform built for exactly the market SVG represents. The ambush is not theoretical. The structure for it exists right now today in 2026. The only variable that hasn't been confirmed is whether Shane Van Gisbergen answers the phone. If SVG moving to 23XI is something you'd want to see or something you think would never happen, drop your take in the comments right now. This community drives the analysis on this channel. Share this video with every NASCAR fan you know, because when this story breaks officially, you'll want to say you were here first. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Subscribe to NASCAR Racing Central. We are almost at 500, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming.